Welcome to the Cycles of Radiance podcast, a weekly conversation tailored for Gen X Black women and women of color who balance faith, family, friendship, career, and love. Through storytelling and laughter, we embrace the triumphs, challenges, and aspirations experienced by women of color. Your hosts, Joanna Kemper, Dana Middleton, and Stacey Givens, are faith-filled entrepreneurial women who are redefining success on our journey towards well-being. Find us on Instagram at Cycles of Radiance. I don't know. I just feel
it nurtures us.
Yes.
It was funny,
yes.
The other day, I wasn't feeling well, and my daughter came up to me and she's like, "Do you need a hug?" And I was like, "No, I feel prickly." And I'm irritated. And she's like, "Well, hugs are very helpful." And she hugged me anyway. And I could feel my body just like, ooh.
Yeah.
Partly because it's my child, but then also it was just like, oh, she has been listening, because I do that to her sometimes. And I do that to my youngest. I was like, because sometimes I go up to him, like, you need a hug. I just hug him, and it's coming back to me, even as an adult. They're like, you need a hug. Like, you just sit down, give me a hug.
And as they become teenagers, it goes from, "Mommy, do you need a hug?" to, "Come here, because you need a hug." That's how they approach me now.
I'll take it though. That's still
as a matter of fact, just the fact that they have the audacity to say, "Dana, come here, because you need a hug."
Yeah,
it's disarming.
It's disarming.
It is. It makes you go ahead and just melt and be like, you know what, y'all are right, because different than many generations of women, mothers, big mamas, I have encouraged my kids, pull me to the side. It's a way to say it, but also I'm not perfect. And I don't want my kids, especially my girls, to ever feel like, no, I'm perfect. I do everything right, and you guys need to take notes. No, I've literally said to them, I'm messing you up somehow, but no, I'm doing the best that I can with the information that I have at this time in my life.
Exactly.
And I hope that it works well for you. I pray that it's good for you. But having 4 kids, and you can see now, y'all all sitting on the couch, and me and Daddy are giving you guys the exact same information in the exact same way at the exact same time, and all 4 of you are going to walk away with different interpretations,
exactly,
and different perspectives. So that's why I can say, don't think I'm perfect, because I might not deliver it in the way that you need it, because that's not what I'm hearing. That's not where I am at this moment. You know what I mean? But so yeah, pull me to the side and be like, "Dana, girl, you tripping. Come on, get this hug, because we're going to fall out." Yeah. It's real life.
She's like, "I'll hug you even if you're prickly. That's fine."
Yes. And how about that for acceptance? How about that?
Wait till they tell you to go lay down, Jay. Just wait for that.
I have,
or they leave your room
already.
How was that? Was it loving?
Kinda. It was like, "Mom, you seem tired. You want to take a nap?"
I'm here for it.
So yeah,
but you realize that they're listening. They're listening.
They are listening, and eventually it'll click for them as well. What I'm hoping for when they're older and they're dealing with whatever grind culture is up at the time, and to be able to realize, you know what, I just need rest. I need a hug. I need some softness in my life.
Yes,
and that it is celebrated. The softness is welcomed. It's needed.
Yes,
because we're beings. We're not machines.
Right.
So we need some tenderness in our lives. We need some love and care. Like, just like when she was sick and I made her stay home. She wanted to go home to school, and I was like, "You can't. I mean, you really got to stay home." And so, making the food that she needed and forcing her to sit down and rest. To this day, she's like, I didn't like staying at home because it was kind of boring, but I felt better. So it's just, it's like you showing them that it is okay to pause when you're not feeling well. Because it starts at a young age. We're like, oh, just go to school, you'll be all right. Here's some medicine and you'll be good. And there's moments when that's happens, okay? But there are moments where you're just like truly sick and you just need to sit down. Yeah. You just need to lie down. And so if we don't show them that at a young age, then how exactly do we expect them to do that when they're older? I mean, I remember my mom doing that with me at different points. She's like, you're beyond exhaustion. Like, you can't function. You need to just stay home today. So it's been a pattern in my life of being told to go lay down. And I don't want to do it. I'm like, it is not like I'm afraid to miss out on something. It's more like, oh, well, I got to get this stuff done. That's where my mindset is. And so it's been a pattern throughout life. Maybe
and
one day I'll learn.
That's what comes with this certain commencement, right? You hit this certain point. And we tell, I don't know. I hope this message is declining a bit. But we put in kids, hey, enjoy it now, because when you become an adult, you have to, and there's an ass list of things that we're telling them they have to do. I mean, even this expectation, my son's a junior, and he's like, all my friends know what they want to do with their lives, and the school is saying you have to make a decision right now. And I'm like, no, he's texting me this, and I'm texting him back, bullshit. All your friends, if you're sitting in an auditorium of 100 kids, 3 of them know what they're going to do. Right. The rest of them are making some shit up so that they don't feel like they're left behind and they're not doing what they should be doing. Take that pressure off.
And whatever you graduate from, you're not going to be doing that.
You're not going to be doing that anyway.
5 years from now.
Yeah.
So just like, I don't know why we expect kids like in their young 20s or teenage years to know we put this pressure on them that it's like a life decision when it's not.
It's not.
Life is nimble. You evolve. You're going to change. And so it just needs to work for now.
Right.
That's it. You know, it's subject to change. It's going to continue to change throughout your life. And if it doesn't, guess what? You're not growing.
You'll figure it out. You'll figure out the next thing.
Yeah. It's too much pressure. I remember feeling that pressure too. And I felt like a loser because I couldn't figure it out.
Because you couldn't figure it out.
No. To this day, I still don't know what I want to do.
Preach. You better say it again. Say it again.
I still don't know what I want to do. What I do know is I want to take a nap.
That part we got down.
Okay, like those things I can figure out. But when it comes down to like, all these life decisions, I'm like, oh gosh. Who said I need to make all these decisions? And then on top of that, make them for other little humans too?
Right.
Like, so I agree with you, Dana. I tell my girls, I'm like, you're going to end up in therapy at some point. It's fine.
And it's probably going to be a good thing, right? Because ideally, the therapist is going to reinforce what I already told you when you were 6.
Which is eat your vegetables and go lie down.
Right. Drink some water.
There you go.
Stop playing with them kids because they mean. They throw rocks at people's houses and you don't get in trouble. Right? Like, there's just certain things that we have been told that I just like the foundation has been laid for us, right? Many of us. I'm not saying everybody, but for many of us, it's there. And it's the stuff that we draw on today. It's the things that we think about, like at the top of the hour, Dana, you were talking about, you called your mom, right? There's just certain things, right, where we know that they've already given us these inputs. They've already given us some foundation of how we should be living, the things that we need to do, because they've lived it. They know. They know what we're about to run into. I was thinking about my college graduation, and I was like, how old were my parents when I graduated from college? And I was like, damn, they were like 52, 53. And I'm thinking to myself, when I go back and I look at the pictures, I'm like, that's what 52 and 53 look like then. And they were managing a lot. They were decades into their mortgage. They were decades into their careers. They were decades into raising kids. I was the last one, and I'm just thinking about the things that they were dealing with, at that time. And just managing life. And I was like, good God. When I talked to a girlfriend of mine about just making decisions and planning life and this and that, I'm like, it just seems so overwrought. I said, I highly doubt that our parents had a checklist to try to figure out how they was going to work out. I highly doubt they had a thing that said January, February, and all the months on it, where they were coloring in. Like, we're making it too hard. We really, really are.
Like, we're making it really hard, but it's because we're trying to do so many things at once.
At one time. And also, I'm quick. Y'all know this, and I said it earlier. It goes back to, I can only point the finger at me. However, when we're looking, and that sounds crazy, right? But when we're looking at all those things, we're thinking about the fact that parents didn't have checklists. Parents were eating better. There are a lot of things, a lot of factors that we have to consider and give ourselves grace for, right? Because when we were younger, food was food. Big Mama had a garden with her tomatoes and her green beans.
True.
You go to the store and you were buying food. The shit that we buy now is not food, even though it looks like food. The way it's been modified, the fact that we got 15 minutes to go do our grocery shopping for the week when our incomes are not keeping up with inflation, and we can no longer walk to the store and get that exercise. You know what I'm saying? So there are a lot of different things that we still have to consider and not beat ourselves up for. Now, don't get it twisted. We can navigate that in a healthy way, but also adding to that, our kids, they have some different stuff. In line with those things, but we could do some dirty shit and it not be broadcast. Our kids can't do anything without the threat and the fear that the whole world is going to know. That's a dirty game. So anyway, I'm not even going to get off into all of that, but stuff was a little bit different for our parents. It was harder in some ways. It was easier in some ways. And the same for us and our kids. So we can navigate, we can control this shit, but we still got to give ourselves some grace on that.
I agree. I do think, though, that there are some things that we can draw on for simplicity's sake that our parents were doing. Like, we have created all kinds of systems and tools and whatever to do the most basic of things. Mm-hmm. A girlfriend of mine, she cracks me up with some of the stuff that she's doing, like to try to keep her house clean or meal prep and just all of these things. And I'm like, our parents didn't do that. They were like, take the turkey legs out of the freezer, thaw those out, and when I get up, I'll season them and put them in the oven. And one of you, because there was 4 of us, one of you makes some green beans and I'm going to work. That's how that worked. It wasn't I don't ever remember seeing my mom sitting down writing out menus for what she was going to prep for the week. It was, I'm going to throw that chuck steak in the electric skillet, and one of you take some vegetables out the freezer. Like, it was very quick things. It wasn't overwrought meals. It wasn't I'm going to slave over this stove unless it was Thanksgiving or Christmas or Easter. But it was, she had they had a large family. There was 5 of us at one point, and then 4 of us in the house, and then 3 of us in the house, plus my parents. And so they had to have a system that was quick. It wasn't this overwrought, I'm going to meal prep, and then let's think about how we're going to keep the house clean, and then let's think about this. It wasn't no thinking about nothing. It was Saturday. Every Saturday. Yes, you got up and you did chores. Yeah. You swept, you mopped, you folded the laundry, you washed laundry, you dusted, you vacuumed. It was on a Saturday. That was what Saturday was about. And then you went to church.
Yep, exactly.
Okay. Then you went to church because you had choir rehearsal.
Yeah.
Or usher board practice. Like, that was a Saturday for us. And then Sunday was church. And then Monday through Friday, there wasn't a whole lot of cleaning going on. There was cooking that was happening. But Saturday was the cleaning day.
There's maintenance that was happening though too. I think that's the other piece. What I'm seeing nowadays is like the parents are trying to shoulder the load of all the things instead of it being a family affair. So the whole family needs to be involved in cleaning, maintaining, and food preparation, all that. It's a family affair. It's not that the parents are enslaved to the children. There's almost like this mindset that parents are trying to cater a lot to the kids, or also make everything into like this learning opportunity and make everything into like this big situation. It's like, nah, kids learn by just living with you. Like we live through life. Like the other day I got the girls and I'm like, we're going to run errands today. I don't want to run errands. I hate it. Well, that's how life happens. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I got to return this into this store. Okay. And then I got to go into this other store. We got to buy some books because you wanted some books. And then we're going to go out into this other store because all the stores are nearby. So we're going to run all these errands right here real quick. And then we're going to end at the grocery store. All right, because we're going to get some food. I don't want to go to the grocery store. I hate going to the grocery store. You like to eat though, right?
Right.
So we're going to go in here. We're going to get some things, okay? You're going to help me load it into the cart. And then we get out of here. Guess what? We're going to drive to the car wash because my car needs to get clean. You're not cleaning it for me, right? Okay. So like, it's just life. Like we're living together. So we're going to live. We're going to go do the things and run the things, okay? If I'm in the kitchen, ask if you can help in some capacity, and I'll see if I can find something for you to do. There's always something for you to do in this house, like my mom used to say. There's always something to do in this house.
Yes.
Always. Okay? So if you're not making something, you're keeping it together, all right? So I think that's the differentiation a little bit from generations, and I'm trying to maintain that because I see like this weight that's like trying to come back to the parents of managing all the logistics, all these activities, all the financial costs of all the activities.
Because the schools aren't doing all the things.
No, they're not. And they're doing that for free either, right? Yeah. So you're trying to get into the streets and it's going to cost you money to do all these things for these kids. Yeah. And not to mention managing their energy level for all these activities, because half the time they don't even want to go, right?
They don't want to do it.
So I'm not even trying to do all the activities. I'm like, y'all don't want to do it, that's fine. But you're going to find another hobby then. Your hobby's going to be sweeping this house. Your hobby's going to be like Swiffering this house. Oh, you don't want to do that? Oh, all of a sudden you want to do so. Okay.
I mean, but listen to what you just said though, because the shit's still easier.
It is.
You can go get that Shark steamer and clean the floor.
Oh, yes,
you can get the Swiffer during the week. My kids don't have a mop and a bucket.
Right.
If I gave them a mop and a bucket, they'd be like, what am I
supposed to do with that?
This? Yeah, like, I don't need to just pour water in this and let it steam and in one swoop the floor is clean. No, dog. Like, we had to, they still had to sweep down the steps. But yeah, that was... Come on.
Yes. But those are all chores that show you how to live, right? And take care of a house and how to feed yourself. Because that's why you have, I thought it was funny the other day I bumped into this lady. She said that her kid is, well, not a kid, it's a young adult, I guess, is engaged. And she's trying to explain to them like, hey, well, now you get a job that has insurance, right? For you and your future spouse. You also need to figure out where you're going to live and how you're going to maintain this place. Right. So she's trying to run through like all the basics of just living. Right. Because it's a young adult and they don't know. They just know that, oh, I just want to get married because I love this person. That love going to fade real quick if you don't have the basics to run your life every day. Right. And so where do we show them the basics in living? Now.
That's right.
And the day to day. The day to day. That's right. Okay. Don't be throwing out that food just because you didn't want to eat it right now. We're going to put a cover on that, put it in the fridge, and we can reheat it later when you get hungry. Okay. You can eat it tomorrow. I don't really like those leftovers. Well, I don't really like wasting my money. So here we are.
We're going to eat leftovers in this house, honey.
You're going to eat these leftovers and you're going to like it too. Okay. Last time I checked, you're not working. Are you working? Are you generating money? No.
Yeah, not a dime. Okay. Not a
dime. What is stressing you, my dependent?
Okay, my dad, that was his phrase. That whole family affair. Thank you. He was quick to say it's a family affair.
It's a family affair.
Everything. He would tell us that, together. Yes, quick and in a hurry. He would be like, it's a family affair. He's like, I need everybody in this house helping. Like that's how we rolled. So when I see today's kids and today's parents and the parents doing it all and the kids just looking, well, because they're so busy with activities, I was like, oh, no. That's abnormal to me. Because again, these are the things that you'll pay somebody for later in life to try to help you figure out how to live. And I'm like, that's backwards, y'all. Your parents should have already taught you these things. Like I said, Saturdays were cleaning days, Sundays were church days, Monday through Friday was work and school. Like there were certain things that just had to happen during the winter. Before the winter would come, a cord of wood would show up, and my dad would be like, all right, get your gloves. We got to stack this wood. He like, I'm not the only one that lives here. I'm not the only one that wants to be warm in the wintertime.
We are going to stack this wood.
That's right. So let's go. And we would be moving wood back and forth in a wheelbarrow from the front yard, the driveway to the backyard and stacking wood. Like lessons, right? And I mean, other people's families did other things. If they had a farm, they had to do farming activities, whatever. Right. We didn't have that. But that we did do. Regular stacking of wood. And he would always build a fire in the winter. So we got a wood stove. We had a basement. We had a wood stove. And if there was no wood there, he would look at us like, am I the only one that lives here? Am I the only one that's cold? Like, go get some wood.
Go get it.
And we would have to, hustle on outside, go get the wood and keep it stacked up in there. He's like, I'll do it, but y'all got to help. Like, I can't do this all myself. And he would tell us that. I could hear him in my head right now. I can't do all this myself, you guys. Everybody has to help. It's a family affair. And so when I see today's kids and today's parents, I'm confused. I'm like, what do you mean they don't wash clothes? What do you mean they don't fold clothes? What do you mean they don't bust suds? What do you mean they don't mop the floor? I don't understand what that means. We had a mop that had the strings.
Yes,
where you had to wring it out with your hands.
That was a pain.
We had that for years. We had Mop and Glow. And then we finally got that mop where you squeeze the handle.
Squeeze it.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was rich level.
Wasn't it?
But even
you were on a whole nother
dirty and today the kids would look at that like but I'm gonna get
have to touch that.
Yes.
Right. Yes, you're gonna have to touch that, sweetheart. Yes.
But it's like my mom used to say, she's like, listen, you have to learn how to do all these things. So even if you do hire someone in the future, you can at least do a quality check. Okay, because you at least know how it's supposed to get done and how it's supposed to look once it's done. But if you don't even know how to do it, you're going to be bamboozled throughout your whole life. We're not going to get bamboozled on basics. No, you got to learn how to run your house. You got to be able to do these things, these basics. My thing is, the job of a parent is to raise a child that can live, thrive in society, in the world. Okay, so the whole job from the moment they're born is to release them out into the world. And so when you look through that lens, you start thinking, okay, what do they need to learn so they're able to be released into this world, and be able to thrive, even if I'm not around. So as much as we would like to do for our kids, because we feel like, well, it wasn't done for me as a child, so maybe it would be nice to do it for my kid, blah, blah. No, we got to think about what do they need so they can thrive in this world. And then you realize, I can't do all these things for you. Mm-hmm. You actually have to do these things. And that's how resilience is built. And that's how, knowledge is built up. Yeah. I'm not saying that we have to harden our kids. I'm just saying we have to show them some skills so that they can be thriving in this world and don't fall apart and they'll fall at the first thing that goes wrong, right? Because this is life. So, well, look at us. Yeah. We went from I don't even know how we started on this conversation, and now we ended up on parents.
That's rudimentary fundamentals. Checklist.
You know what? It all ties together because parenting is about fundamentals.
It really is.
Gotta show you the rudimentary.
Yeah.
Okay, go back to the basics. Everybody want to jump to technology and have the Roomba doing the work. No, you better get you a mop and a bucket and a dustpan and a broom. Like, no, some stuff you need to know how to do. Full stop. Full stop. Some of these kids, I would not want them working in my business because I'm like, you haven't been trained. I have to teach you how to wash dishes. I have to teach you how to wipe something down till it's clean. I have to teach you how to know. We hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Our desire is to empower, support, and elevate you on this collective journey towards a fulfilled life. We invite you to connect and find community with us on Instagram as Cycles of Radiance.